Supplier diversity is a set of business processes that ensure that diverse-owned companies are included in the supply chain. Major corporations that practice supplier diversity are fully absorbed by and enthusiastic about their work. They take positive action to move supplier diversity forward every day. They economically equip entire communities who are composed of historically excluded population groups. These corporations have partnered with the National Minority Supplier Development Council to diversify their supply chains. The vision of the NMSDC is to assist bona fide ethnic minority businesses in becoming long-term qualified entities capable of competing in the national and international economic mainstream. A rigorous certification process was created to verify whether a business is owned, operated, and controlled by ethnic minorities. Regional certification committees throughout the NMSDC network determine if applicants meet the spirit and legal intent of the program. The applicant information is supposed to be confidential. I had served on our Regional Council Certification Committee for years. I was delighted that the committee and council were growing. We had a lot of new volunteers to help us with desk audits and site visits. The group had gotten so big that it was sometimes difficult to keep everyone on the same page. Getting through all the cases during the certification committee meetings was a challenge, and people liked to talk among themselves before and after the meetings so things would move faster. This was against the policy and could cause a problem. I knew one day this would catch up with us, and today was that day. I'm sitting in my office when I get a call from our council president. He was not happy with me because one of our MBE applicants was bad-mouthing the council all over town because he did not meet the certification criteria and his application was denied. This company was now challenging the certification process and accusing the council of not being professional, fair, and respectful of their information. "We've got leaks," he yelled. I'm usually very respectful of authority, but that day I had it. So I said, "What do you mean leaks? I thought you wear Depends." Silence for a few seconds, and then he said, "We're having an emergency meeting with the entire certification committee at 1 o'clock. You be there and bring your attitude with you." Oh God, what have I done? I'm going to be fired today and in front of the entire team. Oh man, I better call home. How will I explain this? How much is in the bank account? What am I gonna do? I'm toast. How did this happen? Do you know Jimmy Jones? You won't believe it. I reviewed his NMSDC application and guess what? He doesn't even own Totem Solutions. I guess the company he used to work for, Concrete Management, you know, the company building the new stadium, they really own Totem Solutions. Jimmy is just an employee with the fancy title, the face of the company. I can't believe Jenny will play that role, bragging about how he did this and he did that. The only thing he did was sell out his people. It's 1 o'clock. Everybody was there except my boss. Great. He is late and he's going to make quite a spectacle out of this. He comes in the room, slams the door. He then says, "I was embarrassed today. I got a call from our board chair and he drop-kicked me in the teeth about confidentiality. We have been leaking confidential information. NMSDC has received complaints about us. They say we have 30 days to fix this or they will withhold our funding distribution." Everybody in the room became defensive. That's not our fault. That MBE was a front. And he cut them off in a voice 3 octaves higher than normal. "I don't care," he said. "I want non-disclosure agreements from each one of you." They all stood up and threw their portfolios on the table and started cursing. "I don't know if my corporation will let me sign that." "Look, I want NDAs from each one of you, and you have 30 days to get them to Paul here, or you're off this committee." He then says to me, on his way out of the room, "I want to see you now." Well, I guess I now have 30 days before I get fired. As we walk back to his office, he says to me, "I've done what I'm supposed to do. Now you do what you're supposed to do."